Good afternoon. We are on the Czech Republic Austrian border in Casino Town, but not any casino town, jukebox town. They got a jukebox hotel, a jukebox archway, but also I think they have a pinball / computer museum somewhere inside here. So we're gonna check it out. Look at these chickens. All right, I'll see you there. Okay, here we go. Alright, well let's have a look here. Solar Ride. So it tells you all about the game in English, Czech and German. It's interesting it has German first, even though we're in the Czech Republic there. It's cool, isn't it? You see, these are the entry machines. Wow, okay. Look at this. Little car here. Jukebox shop. Oh, here we go. Buy small machines for sale at 2,100 euros. Pandora's box. Made out of wood. What else do I say? I don't know. Got some more pinballs here. So I don't know if you saw the other video or whether I uploaded it yet, but we saw a shop with pretty much the same layout. I think it belongs to the same people. You can actually buy this, look, almost 10,000 euros for a Turtles pinball here. Got a Shiba and a Casanova. That's almost 2,000 euros. And that one's almost 2,000 euros as well. Wow, this is very interesting. Oh, we got some arcades here. Wow, look at this diner. Okay, I see more machines. We have a diner. A diner, Williams Diner. Look at this. Alright, wow, this is different, isn't it? What is going on? Spider-Man and the Batmobile together. Little horsey. Little horsey. What? Oh yeah, this is old school. I used to watch actually most of this. Oh wow, yes. This is big. Okay, let's get a move on. Barrel of Fun, change machine. What is this? Man, oh man. Oh, let's get the lighting a bit better. There we go. Monkey. I guess you... Oh, you pull it. Oh, maybe it needs a coin. I think it needs a coin. You pull it and the monkey climbs the stick, basically. Wunderspiegel. Oh, here we go. Unknown. I have no idea what it is. Oh, we saw things like this in Pinball Hall of Fame. Lucky Strike. I think you have to time the hit and you win maybe points. Music. Games back then, you get points. That's all you need, just some points. You can tell your friends how many points you got, and then you're the champion of your friend circle. Sadly, we don't care about points anymore. When did points go out anyway? I think on the Nintendo we had Super Mario World and you had points. I just don't know if people really cared too much. Oh, look at that. Is that buffalo? Oh, bison. Could be buffalo. Right, let's get my... There we go. You can see better now. The Challenger. What is this? Oh, little pistol there. Yeah, look around. Let's have a little scan of the room. Looks interesting, right? Sonic Fighter. Let's get back in again. My close camera has better lighting, but you can see less of it. So I'm sort of juggling between the two. Sonic Fighter. There you go. It's cool, isn't it? Protector. Yeah, there you go. Look, score. See? It's all about the points, man. It's all about the points. 1970, England. Wow. I think we saw one of those. I don't want to say, but I think in Budapest at the Pinball Museum. Because they have some games like this. They have a lot of heavy traffic. but they do maintain them quite well. Pick your team color. Dribbling out of Italy. So this is 2 years after the mechanical arm wrestling machine came out.
Found a pinball lasso.
You found a pinball lasso?
Pinball lasso.
A big, oh, pinball grande. Oh yeah, look at this. Oh, by the way, if you're interested in a museum of sound and vision, then they have that right there for you. Oh yeah, they had 2 of these at the Budapest Pinball Museum. The world's largest pinball game. And that's how big it is. Atari, look, Hercules, 1979. And it is massive. But I think the gameplay on these is quite slow. I don't know if it's the slope or the size. But I was playing it and it's quite a slow game, actually. You're sort of waiting around a lot. Sega Gunfight. Look at that. Now that is hardcore. And now you have My. Back then you had Sega Gunfight. Who needs a modern musical washing machine when you have Sega Gunfight? Chicago coin. Wow. I love this. Look, just some wood. Treasure Cove and Ninja Gun. I love the screens they used back then. Look at this. How cool is that? It's quite hard to get up on the camera. 1984, but you can see your points there. Your points and your shots. And Ninja Gun. Look at that. It's just a ninja on a mechanical wheel. Chicago Coins Flying Ducks. 230 points. You get a nice little rifle there. If you get a score of 360, you get extended play. Let's look at the playing field. How cool is that? Target 0, Bally's. See, Bally's have a casino, I think, in... Well, I don't know if they do anymore. I think there's a lot of Bally's casinos still in Nevada. I'm not really a casino expert, but I did live there for 10 years. Nintendo Battle Shock. Look at that, Skyhawk. Look at that. It almost looks like a Cold War machine, doesn't it, you know? Or maybe a really early washing machine. They were always super heavy, you know, you'd actually need like 4 people just to drag it in the house. Now they're made of cheese, you know, it's very easy to zoom out again. Very easy to move them around. Little gun and a steering wheel. What kind of mob game is this? No, so you're in a mob car. No, it's a police car. Oh, you're catching the mob. There they are. And you can shoot them and drive at the same time. What more could you ask for? Evil Laurel and Hardy? Why do they look so mad? On my travel channel, if you don't follow my travel channel, I do some urban exploring of a hippodrome in Derby in the UK where Laurel and Hardy used to perform. Sadly, they knocked it down just a month ago after over 100 years being in construction. Very sad times. Little conspiracy about that, actually, because you can't destroy listed buildings in the UK unless, you know, they happen to catch on fire. I thought that was a swimming pool, but there's some horses in there. So it's a Williams winner there. So some of these we saw in some pinball museums. You can check those out on my channel, Derby Day. So I won't go into too much detail here. We've got Uncle Fester. Now this is what we had before the electric chair. Do you remember the huge wooden electric chair? You would do the Uncle Fester, grab that. It pretty much just vibrates very quickly. Take 5. Oh, super nice. 1978. Little mini pinball there. I like the lighting on this one. It's Flipper Football. Flipper Football by Capcom. It's not too different from the first release of Resident Evil on the PlayStation. When was that? 96, 97? No, a bit later, right? I don't know, but yeah. Oh, World Cup 90? Is it Italia 1990? Was that Italy? I think my season is 94, 95. Because I used to collect the sticker books, so I can remember all kinds of players, like Dwight York for Aston Villa. That was my season. But outside of that, I didn't really care too much about football. It's a little boring, to be honest. But it's nice. It's a nice social game, you know, with your friends. It's like an excuse to hang out. But kicking a ball of air around, not really my thing. So Jetsons in 2016. It's made to look old, but it's new. Wipeout, pretty hard to see. It's not working. Reminds me of Cool Borders. Anyone ever play Cool Borders? Street Fighter 2. Look at this. 1993. You know, that's 1993. When did it come out on the Genesis, the Mega Drive? That has to be a very similar year. Super Mario Bros. Mushroom World. So you may be asking, how do you play these games? You're in a museum, right? We saw this one in Budapest as well. It's actually really fun. And even if you're really bad at pinball, you can actually get a long way with this. I think we finished it. Or at least we got to World 8. A little dancing clown. So I was confused, right? Because I thought this museum cost money to go in, but we walked straight in. There was no one accepting money or anything. We saw one of these in Barcelona. As you just walk in the members only arcade, there was one of these. And I felt bad because it was a members arcade and you need to know someone to get in. But now you can play it here. Turbo Drive 2. Oh, Wild Kingdom. Little rhinoceros on there. That's cool, isn't it? Midway, 1971. Wow. So, do I have any older members? More senior than myself who remembers some of these games in the arcades. And what a time to be alive, right? What a time. Look at that. Used to play some of that kind of graphics on the Atari 2600. We had one at home. In fact, it was my very first console, the Atari 2600. But if you wanted that experience before the Atari 2600 came out, you would have to go to the arcade. And to the arcade you went because that was awesome. You know, the only thing you have at home is a 4-channel TV, if you're lucky. In black and white. Tom and Jerry at 4:15 on one channel. A very boring place to be. Maybe you didn't have a TV, maybe you had a radio. You'd be throwing marbles up against the fireplace because you're so bored. The only thing to do is hang out with your friends, but sometimes they might be grounded. So you're like, what the hell do I do? Well, I'm going to go to the arcade. I'm going to play some of these games. I'm going to hang out. And that's what we did. Rifle Champ. Look at this. Wow. But then we got a 56k modem at home, and that kind of ruined everything. Tato. Well, actually, it was awesome at the time. Jeez, like free reign. You can download whatever you want. It was amazing, in fact. It's almost like your social skills were tricked out of you. You didn't even know they were disappearing, and one day you look back and think, oh, damn. That's what the outside used to look like. That's how we used to communicate with people. Oh boy. Alright, Williams Baseball. Let's zoom out again. It's a bit more bright here. Got Simpsons. Oh wow. Play Pinball, man. Yeah, Simpsons, 1990. Wow. We need... How? Yeah, I think I was talking about that. Because the entrance appears free, you come in and pretty much pay to play. So it is a museum, yes, but you just play like an arcade. You know, you come in with your coins. In 1991, look, come in with your coins and play. So it is an arcade / museum. Well, it's more like you go to an arcade, but you get tricked into a learning experience, which isn't really a bad thing. Close Encounters of the Third Kind. Wow, I remember that movie. Alright, wow. Look at this. It's like 2-player pinball. How cool is that? 1969, 2-player pinball. Is this what astronauts used to look like? Yeah, there it is, look. Yeah, Italy used to make some fantastic arcade machines, mechanical ones in fact. And when we went to Rimini recently, just last week in fact, We saw arcades with still some of those machines, and they've been in business for many years. Oh, hello. What's going on here? Foreign Legion. Oh, we found a little section of USA there. Found a little section of broken machines. Look at this schnitzel stand. Do you shoot sausages? No, I'm joking. I'm wondering, anyone watching from America, and did you get any of these crazy European machines in your arcades? Because we got a lot of American stuff in Europe, but sometimes it didn't really work the other way unless it was a very good machine. For example, Harry Potter. You get Harry Potter in America, but it has to be, sort of exceptional to break the Americas, as they say. So that's the only reason I'm asking. Middle Earth. Oh yeah. Haunted house. Before the internet, people believed anything. We had fortune-telling arcade machines. People would take it quite seriously, in fact. Now it's a bit of a joke, and people, they're not really so much popular anymore. You see them now again, but not as much as you used to. Nightmare on Elm Street, look, 1994. Look at him there. Wow. What's your favorite Nightmare on Elm Street movie? I like the third one. The one with the baby is kind of weird and annoying. We had all 6 on VHS. Hyperball. Look at this. Williams. Look at that. It looks like an old alarm clock, doesn't it? 1981. Yeah, that's probably the technology back then. Yeah, so no flippers, but look at all these balls here. Super unique. I don't think I've seen this one in Pinball Hall of Fame, actually. Alright, well that is the first room. What did you think? This is crazy. Alright, well there's another room, but I'll give you guys a break. Okay, see you in a minute. Okay, let's have a bit of an interval. I'm going to play a couple of things, and then we're going to start getting into this room. Check it out. Alright, let's go. Uh-oh. Oh, you're in trouble. You're in trouble. Alright, so we've played a few games. Let's get in here. Pixel World. Now this is pretty much the same place. It's just a room with more modern things. But not only that, a little museum as well. So I'm going to have a quick scan. Scan. And now let's have a little look around. Alright, well, what do we have? We have, well, everyone's seen one of those, right? But have you seen A House of the Dead 4? Probably. Well, let's keep pushing, because maybe there's something you haven't seen. Yeah, the lighting in here is pretty bad, so I'm going to switch to my more zoomed in one, and we can have a little look. Alright, what we got? Whoa, look, Konami Hyper Olympic video games. Oh, it's a little bugged, but I think it still works. Is this an original cabinet as well? You got your cigarette ashtray on here as well. Every time I play one of these, it's in like a Pandora's box or a main cabinet. Yeah, there's a little bugginess there, but it still works. Is this versus... Oh, it's Super Mario Bros. 1983. You got your ashtray. That's for 2 cigarettes, look. That one's only 1. Must mean the game's harder, right? More stressful. Someone's got to the 5th world. I think we can beat that. Maybe we should play that one first. Is that Moon Patrol? It is Moon Patrol. Oh, there you go. Look, we used to play that on the 2600. Oh, I love these buttons. It brings back so many memories. The little man on there. I don't know if that was a European thing. I'm not sure. Is that Ghosts and Goblins? It is Ghosts and Goblins, and that's going to take all your tokens. I finally finished that on the NES. But there's no way I'm going to pay actual money to do it. Oh, it's super dark in here. Alright, look at this one. Ace Driver, Victory Lap, Yellow Cyclone. Hang on, let's come back here. Look at this. How good does that look? Oh, man. Yeah, so it's all in Japanese. So that screen, the other screen's a little bugged down there, but wow, you just don't really see that anymore. Little shotgun sport here. Shoot things for sport. Alright. Let's keep moving. Virtual Fighter 2. Is that LCD conversion? Oh yeah, there's a little ViewSonic monitor in there. Okay, wow. Yeah, the arcades used to be full of these kinds of games. Mortal Kombat, Street Fighter, Virtual Fighter. Wow. I remember a lot of my friends bought the Sega Saturn. Then they wished they hung on a little bit and got a PS1. Touchmaster 7000. Doesn't work, but one for the collection, right? Scud Race. Let's zoom out again. Alright. Scud Race. We've seen a few of these in Italian arcades, in fact. We've got a Crazy Taxi. The screen's slightly yellowed, but I don't know. Crazy Taxi. Oh, what's the highest rank on there? One day I'll reach number 1. I just need a machine local to me. Rave Racer. Wow. Oh, and even these machines have some information as well, so you can get a sneaky education. Ghouls and Ghosts. Wow. Is that the speaker? Super loud. This is one of my favorite games on the Genesis. I'm pretty sure I can beat that in 1 credit with a little practice. Alright. Actually, I think I did it recently. I have a speed run on my channel. Jalico. Made in England. Jalico is England? Bubble Bubble. Yeah, these are all conversions. Yeah, look, little LCD screens in there. Oh, look at him, Evil Pac-Man. Some of them are LCD conversions. Bank Panic. Although I do have a bad habit of not looking through my camera at what I'm looking at sometimes. Oh, look at this. Oh, look, 100 lire, which is the old Italian currency before they switched to the euro. So by looking at a lot of the currencies on these coin mechanisms, we have an indication of where the cabinet originally came from when it was in production. And that's something you'll see at Arcade, run by Robert, our friend Robert in Bratislava. He has a lot of machines. Yeah, we're entering the museum. And by looking at the coin mechs, it's an indication. So you'll see Deutschmark, the old currency of Germany. What the hell is a Pfennig? Pfennig? What's a Pfennig? 1 token, that could be anywhere. So you get the idea. You can sort of get a history of where these come from. So Paddle Battle is pretty much Pong. Paddle Battle, Pong. Let's switch to the other one. Okay. Versus the Goonies? No way! Oh, that's crazy! Oh, look at the artwork! Oh, that is awesome! Look at that! Oh man, yeah, I had that on Nintendo. Oh, that's so nice! Either that is in fantastic condition, or they did a really good job with the artwork on the side. Popeye, I played it a bit, and not too much. I think someone got a new world record on that semi recently. I don't remember. Yeah, that's versus Super Mario Bros. Pretty hard. Cubert. Oh, poor Cubert. What's going on? But yeah, that has the CRT inside, so I guess it's a bit of a mix which ones have the original stuff. So here's the museum. Look at all this. Let's finish these ones over here. We got Pac-Man and Baby Pac-Man. Pac-Man and Baby Pac-Man. So look, the Baby Pac-Man has a little screen up here, and then look, Pinball, Pac-Mania. All right, do you want to see the museum? Yes or no? All right, we'll have a little look. So, Game Boy. In my eyes, these are still relatively new, although I do appreciate they're not. So I'm gonna skim over those a little. Look, handheld tabletop. So we had a lot of these games before the Game Boy came along, and in some instances you would have these games instead of a Game Boy. So if your parents can't afford the Game Boy, or they won't buy you a Game Boy, then you would typically have something like this. So I had a Mario Game & Watch, I had this one. So these were all before. A lot of them were before the Game Boy, or little virtual pet there, Tamagotchi. And then when you eventually got the Game Boy, you never really went back to a lot of these games. Little mini Simon Says. These ones, this is a good example. These kind of Tiger toys. You get the Tiger toys instead of the Game Boy, and you're like, oh, what the hell? I think even South Park had an episode on that, but I think they used it with an iPhone or something like that. He got a different phone and Cartman was going crazy. Bot vs. Space Mutants, really cool game. You try and change all the pink objects into red ones, but the game got friggin' hard very quickly. Master System 1, there should be a Master System 2 somewhere. This was really cool. This is a Mega CD 2 with a Mark 1 Mega Drive, so a bit of a mixer. I still have my original Mega CD. It goes underneath the Mark 1 like that, and it almost looks like a music player. Arcade Shock, Dreamcast. We used to take these VMUs to school. You'd put your Sonic Adventure Shao or Sheo on there, whatever you want to call it. CDI. And then you take it to school and train it up, put it back into the game. I don't really know if that's still a thing now in modern consoles. Oh yeah, my cousin had one of those pinballs. That was the beast back then. Caveman, I have a video on this exact game on my channel. I made a dedicated video of it because I found it in a thrift store. So I did a video on it. Deluxe Soccer. I don't think it's working right now, but you can kind of almost looks like a Pong type game. It looks like a conversion on there as well, but I'm not sure. Odyssey, I have a video of that on my channel as well. We did an unboxing. So these are like some of the controllers here. They were hardwired before, almost like a telephone cable, how you'd have in an old landline telephone. Tank TV. There's some real old stuff down here. There's a museum / arcade in Bristol. I have that on my channel. They have a similar museum to this, so shout outs to them if you're visiting Bristol in the UK. Just type into Google Computer Game Museum and it'll come right up with the address and everything. I don't remember the address, so I can't tell you right now. But yeah, I recommend that place. There's the 2600, look, and there's the Rainbow Edition. That's the one we had. And then the 7800. A little more boost power. What else we got? Oh yeah, so if you were the cool kids, you would have this in your car with the fold-out TV and an inverter, and you can play the PSONE or PS1 in your car, and you were the dog's bollocks, trust me. If you had that in your car back then, before we had like micro TVs and LCDs, then whew, you're the king. VIC-20, oh wow. So VIC-20, the one before the C64. I guess if you go in order. Oh, look at that, MZ700 PC. We never had anything like that. Look at all the keys had those little symbols on. We never had the VIC-20, but we had the C64, which was a pretty good upgrade to the VIC-20. Look at this. Oh, I did have World Games though. I love games like that. So yeah, these are all on cassettes. You go, oh look, Tapper. You pretty much go make a tea or a coffee while it's loading into memory from the cassette, and yeah, then you go back and play, and that was very normal, you know. No one sat around watching the tape load into memory. That's insane. Although some modern videos make it seem like that was the case. Oh, a little blurry. Okay. Oh, Frank Bruno's boxing. Oh, he was a good boxer, Frank Bruno. All right, UK boxer, in fact. So this is like a more old school C64. I think it was the first model. These look like they've been added on, actually. And that disc drive, that looks like the original disc drive too. They slimmed it down and made it a bit better. This is a cartridge port, the Atari 800 XL. Look at that. But yeah, this is the cassette deck for the C64. I don't see the new 5 1/4 drive here. That's an action replay for the C64 because some games were just really hard, so you'd have one of those. Yeah, that's C64. Oh, we might see the more modern version in a second. We've got Apple. ZX Spectrum here out of the UK. UK represent. I still got my Spectrum, in fact. I got it a bit later in life. In fact, it's that one. I got it a bit later in life from a car boot sale when no one cared anymore. This is the C128. Not very successful. They made it backwards compatible with the C64, and people didn't really have a reason to upgrade their system. It's like, why even bother? My C64 works great. And there wasn't really many dedicated 128 games because people were so concerned making it with the 64 system. The Amiga 500, that was like, you know, C64 on crack. You had some great games, great graphics as well on the Amiga. But we were never an Amiga family. You were either a Commodore or an Amiga, even though obviously it's the same. But the C64 or Amiga 500, should I say? At least that's the war we had. I've got some Philips systems here. Never owned one of these. All right, look at that. Do people in the Netherlands use these? I don't know, in my eyes, everyone used this, the C64 or the Amiga, at least back then. Green monitor, yeah. So, look at that. I like the artwork here. Look, let's zoom out again. Nintendo, cool, isn't it? All right, we've got some Pac-Man. We've got some board games. I don't think we care about board games on this channel that much, do we? I don't think we do. All right, let's go in here. So check out this. So there's some computers here, and what they do is put coin boxes on the systems, and you pay for time. So one token, around €1, is 5 minutes. You put it in, and it gives you pretty much input control to the system. So this is Sega Rally on a Sega Saturn. And you're playing Donkey Konga. Donkey Konga. Oh, it's Donkey Konga in German. Oh boy. No, there should be a game where you actually play the bongos. I don't remember the adventure game. I don't know. I had the original one. I don't know what's going on, to be honest. Original PlayStation. What's here? Oh yeah. Super Mario Bros. On the Nintendo. On LCD screen. What do you think about that? The Acorn BBC Micro. Wow, my friend had one of these bad boys. Look at this. Twin 5 1/4 floppy disk as well. Insane. Ah, look at this. It looks like a super early laptop. iMac. Little Apple Macintosh there. Commodore 8296. No idea. I don't know anything about these. When I was a kid, you were in a rich family, to be honest. If you'd owned something like this, we were like monkeys, you know, like woo woo woo. At that time, we had no idea. But then they became more affordable for the consumer market, and people were getting them more and more. But that's how it used to be, you know. You'd only really have one of those if you had like a dad who was an accountant or something like that. And then when he's not working, then you know, you have free reign to play some games on here, and he would tell you, why are you installing games on my computer? We're running out of space. That's sort of like how it went. I've got a little Mega Drive here, Sega Genesis. Another one, that's Aladdin. I did a speedrun of Aladdin on my channel. Not sure what that is, but it says it's a Mega Drive too. In some of these boxes, oh, we got a Sega Saturn. What's this? Oh, that's the Game Gear magnifier. Has a little light in there. But you don't really need the light on the Game Gear, not like the original Game Boy, because if you go on road trips in the car, it had the screen was backlit, so it didn't really matter, although you'd need like 6 or 8 batteries, I don't remember. The batteries was the killer. You'd have a bag full of backup batteries. We've got some consoles here. It's quite hard to see. It's like a generic Pong tennis type deal. Quite a lot of them, in fact. So there it is. That's what it is. And when you switch between these games like tennis, hockey, squash, literally the bats will be bigger or smaller and the color will change, and they call it a completely different game. So so that was always quite funny how that would be. Burning Rubber Amstrad console. Yeah, Amstrad GX 4000, England, 1990. I never owned one myself. That looks like Alex Kidd in Miracle World. You do rock, paper, scissors to progress in the game. I like the little artwork up here. What on earth is this beast? Oh, it's a portable TV. with cassette and radio. That's massive. Alright, what else we got? That looks like Atari in there. Atari Pac-Man or something. I don't know what that is. That's some interesting artwork here. This place is in the middle of nowhere. I just didn't really expect any of this to be here. It's pretty insane. But that's it, you know, you travel through Europe, you can find some random stuff. Oh, we're back at the Goonies again. Alright, we're back. You know what? We might have done it. We might no, we haven't finished. There's one little section here of actual machines. Alright, let's go. Let's finish this off. We can do it. We can do it. Okay, Tekken 5, although that looks like Street Fighter. It is Street Fighter. Mortal Kombat. So these are LCD conversions as well. It doesn't really matter on games like this, but when you start getting into the dance and rhythm game territory, then there's an issue. Alright. Oh, look at this. It's not a game I really played. Oh, look at that. Wow. 2 players. 1 in each hand. Look at that. That's what you're doing, look. Wow, you'd be the king. You'd be the king if you had one of those at home. Pole position. Or at least it claims to be pole position. Oh yeah, the never-ending wheel. Just like Super Sprint. That gear stick feels so nice, though. Alright, Operation Thunderbolt. Wow, nice. Chase HQ. Look at those graphics. Yeah, another LCD conversion. Such a nice cabinet, though. This has an original CRT in there. I guess you know if it's a CRT because through my camera you'll see the lines coming down. The scan lines or whatever. So if you have those questions, is it a CRT? Well, you can tell. Outrun, look, little Outrun. Look at this. Oh wow, super nice. All right, and Hyperdrive. Look at that. Gunblade NY. We see some of these sometimes in arcades, the Gunblades. Zoom in on this one. Battle Shark. Wow. Is this the submarine one? You're in a submarine and you start shooting people. I don't remember. Oh, Real Race Feeling WGP. Wow, they got some interesting stuff here. Look at this. I love the artwork though on some of these machines. All right, well, Cruising World. We all know what Cruising World is. Although they are becoming increasingly more rare. And look at this, a 6-player virtual racing. This could be a record. I don't think we've ever seen a 6-player virtual racing on this channel. So you win Czech Republic for the biggest virtual racing machine in 2025. Unless anyone can claim to beat it. And a little Atari kind of Pong chilling down there. So what do you guys think? Absolutely amazing, right? And this video is super long, but we're gonna upload it anyway because we don't care about YouTube servers and the space on them. Wow. Alright, well, we're gonna play some more games, hang out, chill out, and probably kill the rest of the day here. But have you ever been to Czech Republic before? If you have, did you only go to Prague? Because if yes, then you're missing out on the Czech-Austrian border where they have a whole casino area just like Las Vegas. It's eerie familiar, trust me. And if you're American, then you'll feel right at home because they have an American diner from the 50s or 60s here as well. So I hope you enjoyed the video and I'll see you guys in the next one. Oh, look at this. Wow. All right. I'll leave you with a menu and the diner. Alright, take care guys. I'll see you in the next video. Coming soon. Yeah, things are looking up. Well, we tried. You're drifting.